of 90s films back then. It was The Phantom, Dark Man, and Shadow with Alec Baldwin back in the 90s, man.
Hell
All
yeah.
good.
Are you going to forget the Rocketeer?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so guys, we're on live, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
What a way to roll in.
We're just talking about
Dark Man, the Shadow, and the Rocketeer. Get on it
You
right
guys hear
now.
this when I'm
And here we
tapping
go. Podzillionaires, episode 3, starting right out with recommendations right out the gate. Helmy, take us away.
Okay, well, it's episode 3. I think a couple of us are feeling under the weather, including Anastasia, so at least she can't make it. Hopefully she'll be joining us for the next one. And we're going to talk about we're going to, again, shoot the crap. And today we're going to talk about collector news, reviews, acquisitions, and post-pod discussions. I'm really excited for post-pod discussions because I want to talk about genre. Does it matter in a movie scoring and review? Because I think it does, but we'll see. So the first thing is, let's go with collector news. Shall we start sharing what we saw and what we like?
Yeah, let me get it pulled up here.
Well, if Devin can get us going, I think Articulated has a lot to talk about, but I just don't see very much action from that creature.
Okay, let's go. What is this?
What is Devin doing?
Okay. Anyways, so who's going to be talking about this one? Oh, Devin, yeah.
Devin.
Devin is doing something.
He's having a hard time.
I don't know what Scar King, man. Like, I didn't feel like he's an epic.
Hey, help me.
Wait.
Real quick, spoilers on like tiny spoilers on Furiosa when that dude whipped out the whip with the bones on it. I was like, Scar King.
True.
Can't hear
Oh,
you,
there's the action creature.
Devin. There he went. Okay,
I don't know what's going on.
let's fast forward while he's getting all that situated.
I can knock it out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's go.
Let me.
There's not very much on mine.
Yeah, I gotta share a different window. Give me 1 second.
And Greg, if that King Kong and poster, killing me. Oh yeah, I love this one. I have this one. Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Okay. Shima X, Gargantuas, brand new. There's only 80 of these. All right, like we're previewing them, but you really better be buying them right now because Helmy and I were going to talk about this in a bit here. But you kind of need these. You kind of need these if you love the Gargantuas. This is essential. I'd say about 6 inches tall, 5 or 6 inches tall. Really detailed sculpt. Excellent sculpt, excellent colorway, excellent paint apps. I love them. I love these. I have not seen anything else from Shima X, so I'm curious to see what they do going forward. Yeah, good stuff.
If it weren't for you telling me that this was out, right, I would have missed the boat, and now it's going for stupid money. Because I think there's one now on buy for like 4 times the price. What the fudge?
Yeah, these went very quickly. We'll talk again later in the stream about them, but right now I'm buying either going between $500 and $700. So, youch.
And I think I only paid like maybe 6,000 yen markup, which is nothing, you know. I'm happy to pay that. Anyways, okay, next one.
Planet X Asia Jiras. This is very nice. I love the swappable head, so you can just make them a 65. Which there is another Sofubi coming up, another 65 coming up. This is better, I think. I just think it's a better sculpt. I really like this a lot. We'll probably see some colored versions coming out soon, but yeah, Planet X Asia Jiras.
What size?
What's up?
What's the size?
I don't know. I've never purchased from Planet X Asia, so that is a good question. If anybody knows in the chat and who's here right now, But if anybody shows up and wants to tell us, we would love to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up. Oh, what the heck? I love this one.
Yeah, Tony
I love
Mara. There's another one too, but this is the translucent Matango. Again, I have no idea what the size is on this. This is obviously more art Sofubi, and this is released on an Instagram lottery drop. So it's probably going to be $3,000 next week as soon as you see it. If you ever see it. Ugly, cute, all at the same time. If you want your Matangos, this is something that you might be looking out for. The very next one is the solid colorway version. So yeah, go ahead. There we go. There we go. Cute. Very cute.
I kind of like the translucent one more.
I definitely like the translucent quite a bit better.
So it kind of throws me off though that it has eyeballs. It's kind of I've never seen a Matango with eyeballs. It's kind of odd.
I wouldn't say eyeballs. There's several sculpts with eyes, but not necessarily eyeballs. This is definitely much more in the kawaii, super deformed kind of stylized side of things, and kind of the thing that I very much part of me wants because it's Matango, but also at the same time it's too cute for the garden. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like that Swimmy Design Lab is like right at that edge, and this I think goes past it.
Like, I'll be honest, I legit do not look at the photos in our group because I want to be surprised, and I didn't know about this one, and I like this one. To be honest, it's so cute.
It is pretty cute. It is.
Yeah.
It's that. It's very, very totemo kawaii.
All right, next one. Oh,
Marasan reissues of the Jumbosaurus, the Poppy Jumbosaurus. You know, now you too can slide your buddy down the wooden slide and splinter their asses and proclaim that, yes, in fact, Superman is the best. Superman beats them all.
Are you getting this? This is kind of cute, though.
Honestly, if I ever got one of these, I'd have to get an original.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
so.
just
I'm gonna use my first few cuss words here. It's so fucking ugly that if I were to actually own one, I would need an original. But for those people out there that don't want to spend, you know, a significant amount of change on an original and are interested in that sculpt, in that design, and in that history, I'm sure these will be fairly affordable. So, you know,
All right.
there you go. More Planet X Asia, just good old, yeah. It's another Planet X Asia. I believe this is a 93, so not bad. Oh
my god, no! I love this one.
Yeah, yep. The Izu Monster, Frankenstein and Baragon set. These the Izu Monster Sofubi are very, very sought after designer toys. This is going to be very, very, very expensive and stupidly so. Very limited, manufactured scarce, and good luck getting this. But you'll probably be spending in upwards of $2,000 for this set, if not more.
But that Frankenstein, though, I love him so much. It's one of the ugliest, cutest thing I've ever seen.
I want to get Crew Kenley's opinion on the Baragon.
Okay. The eyes, though. The eyes on it.
On Frankenstein?
Yeah. No. On Paragon.
I mean, what about the eyes on Frankenstein? Drunk zombie Frankenstein?
Yeah.
So I noticed that the paint is like completely black on the bottoms of his front arms. Is he designed to be able to walk on all fours? Like, is he like articulated to be able to do that?
Ooh, that's a great question. The head's definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you're not gonna be able to reposition the head for like a forward-facing stance, but I don't know.
It could have a neck like the that Rodan, the Sun Guts Rodan.
Sun Guts,
maybe
it could,
but yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen any of Izu Monster figures ever in my own hand, so
Right,
glad to see Devin's back too. Oh, okay, so here's the heavy hitter: $175. The Spiral Slug Bat colorway. 65 Daisenso Goji, 1965. The good news is this picture right here is exactly what I thought. It's washed out because of the picture. The yellow is not so yellow. The sheen is not so shiny. So it really does look a little bit better than this. I wouldn't say it looks great, but I would say I probably need to see it in hand to give it a full final assessment. And for $175, I really am thinking about, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I have Podzillionaires, but you know,
it's already sold out. So.
well, there you go. There you go.
Made in Japan. This is interesting.
Yeah, there'll be more of them, and on buy you could probably get it for like $225, $240. I mean, come on, it's not great.
Spiral will. I mean, they plan on doing 5 different variants for the 2019, so I'm sure they'll do a bunch for this one too.
If they ever do it.
Yeah,
They
did say they planned on. Recently, they said they plan on picking it back up. So
I'll see if maybe I'll send them to Charles, but I saw the prototype for this at Anime Jungle in Los Angeles over a year ago, and so I took some pictures of it there. It's not a bad sculpt. It's really not. It's not a great sculpt, but it's not bad. I love 65. I love Daisenso Goji. I love the movie. Cookie Monster Godzilla. The nails are very yellow. I don't like the yellow on the nails at all. The body is shiny. Again, I would like to see it in hand in person. I think the photos are not doing it justice, but also sort of mid. The pilot ace is gonna outdo it, but of course that's about most things. So if you can snag one and you really want a Daisenso Goji, it's not bad. You could do worse. Okay, the Marasan Shingoji Kamatsu-kun. This is cute, isn't it?
Very cute.
Yeah. It looks definitely translucent. I'm not sure if it would come out in a set with the other forms or not. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Marasan, they haven't done any other Shin stuff, so this is their first one.
It's interesting that they would just do this one. It would, you would hope that there would be more to it, but an underseen Godzilla in terms of both the films and the toys. So, not bad.
I feel like Kamada-kun is like really popular though. A lot of people really like that design.
I like it. I do.
Yeah, the middle design is like the middle child. So
I don't love it, and it's also red. The red-headed stepchild. So
yeah.
I don't love it, but I like it. I like Shin a lot, but I don't love it. So Shin's like, I think in my top 10, I put it like 8 or 9.
All right. Well, that's all we got for Sofubi. Is Devin ready for his articulated announcements?
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Gotta reshare. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining.
You guys hear me all right? Do I sound fine? My mic doesn't want to work with my phone for some reason this time.
Yeah, you sound fine.
All right, let's go.
Tell me, you gotta put it in the show, man. You gotta.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus.
First thing we see is this piece of shit. Sorry.
All right, so
this
Scar
King here for Rogue Game for Men.
No one really knew if Monster Arts was going to be doing any of the GXK stuff because Haya had been doing it, but from this, we can see that they're going to be doing it. We got the Scar King here. It looks pretty good. The only valid complaint I've really heard about it is that the whip is too short. And if you look at stills from the movie and stuff, it's definitely too short, but it's not a big deal. But I'm curious if it's going to be bendy wire or if that's a bunch of ball joints. It's got to be bendy wire, I would think. But
yeah,
it looks pretty good. What do you guys think?
No.
I don't know, man. I've never been big on giant apes.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a big Red
is
monkey.
easily the coolest simian character ever put on screen in any film ever.
Sure. I mean, I can think of some better, you know. I don't know, Caesar. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
All right, let's go.
Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose?
What about Harry and the Hendersons?
Hell yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Donkey Kong.
This is
So
cool.
this is not this is actually not its own figure. This actually comes with Scar King. So you get a swappable right arm for Kong and the axe that doesn't look right. I'm not sure why it's white and blue, but yeah. But yeah, it's cool that it comes with that. You know, it seems like Monster Arts has given us some accessories lately, so that's nice. And then they tease this at the end. You got Shimo or Shimu. I keep forgetting what it is. But
spoilers, Devin. How many still hasn't seen the movie?
Fuck off.
yeah, so we got Shimo here, and that I'm sure it's going to be huge. I like how they have all the spikes and stuff translucent. I don't think the Hayas were translucent, but yeah, this looks pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah, now this I'm really excited for. You got Haya's 91 King Ghidorah, and that looks awesome. I can't wait for that. Like the heads look super articulated and stuff, so do the tails. A lot more than their 2019 Ghidorah, so it's gonna be really cool to get this one. What's also cool is the wings are bendy, so you can kind of move them around a little bit, which is nice.
I'm interested to see what the QC is going to look like. I wonder if it's going to have any issues. But I feel like Haya is like a bit more durable than SH, at least from like what I've seen in reviews and stuff.
Oh yeah, man! Like this Haya Godzilla is a brick, dude. I could probably go outside and slam it on the concrete; it would be fine.
do it.
So Haya, we got Haya Toys again. This is their skull crawler from GVK, the one that Mechagodzilla kills. And this is just a repaint. Nothing is different except it comes with a interchangeable tongue there. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Reminds me of that scene in Skull Island where he like grabs the dude and completely vores him.
I had a logical issue with that, but we're going to talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Sakai.
Yep. So we got this is from Monster Arts. We got a 1954 repaint, but it's not just a repaint. It does come with some new accessories like the breath effect there. It comes with a couple planes as well, and a stand there. Yeah, so there you can see that stand.
I love the natural color on any 54. I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks like a different like kind of take. Like the dorsals are more yellow than you would see on a color version, but it looks all right. I don't know if I'm gonna get this one. I really don't like the sculpt on it. I feel like the face is just not right. It looks inaccurate. What do y'all think?
He looks more like the 55.
Yeah,
A little bit because of the teeth.
yeah. It's like his face is like squished. I don't know.
Yeah.
You said this. It's the same sculpt, right?
It is the same sculpt. Yeah.
I had this like the same one, but it was like a monochrome version,
Yeah.
and it was mid, so I sold it.
Yeah, I have mine just because it's the only 54. I'm hoping Haya does a 54. And when I saw this, I was like, man, I really hope they do a 2.0 version, but of course, it's just a repaint. So, womp womp.
Can't believe you called Yuji Sakai mid. That's crazy. What the hell is this thing?
So, this is from a new manga and anime that's out right now called Kaiju number 8. This is Kaiju number 9. So this is the villain of that show. and he's pretty cool. He has a lot of minions that look a lot like Matango, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, he's a pretty good villain. That's the villain. It's SH Figure Arts. If you guys are interested, this is actually a leaked picture, so it hasn't been officially solicited yet. So there it is.
Next.
Whoa.
Pumpkinhead.
So this is Syndicate Collectibles, and they have a bunch of stuff up for pre-order right now on Big Bad Toy Store. Helmy, you'd probably be interested because they have some giant statues of Pumpkinhead. But I didn't include that because, doing articulated stuff. But this is their 1/6 scale Pumpkinhead, and there it is with the Hot Toys Groot, so you can tell it's pretty big. They're also going to be doing a 1/12 scale Pumpkinhead, which is more the size of Monster Arts figures. So I'm really excited for this company. They also have a Clownzilla from Killer Clowns from Outer Space on the way, which is going to be cool.
Michael, I would say save your money and come to G-Fest instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So that's all for the articulated.
All right, next.
So we don't have a lot to share on kits. So Summer Wonderfest is actually happening tomorrow. Now, the only things I wanted to go over, there's probably going to be a lot of announcements this weekend. So, like, for the next show, I'll probably have a lot because I'm sure there's like a Monster Maker 28, Asai Modeling, Kaiju Freaks, they're going to be there. CCP is going to be there. Katora. There's going to be a lot of companies showcasing new stuff at the Summer Wonder Festival. But anyways, I just wanted to share the Rebirth from CCP, the Rebirth Gamera. This is it's sculpted by the guy behind Suzuki Garage. If everybody remembers that really cool Crystal Space Godzilla, Super Godzilla design.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the same sculptor. So, it's pretty cool. For the price tag, I'm not going to purchase it because I think it's like $800 and it's only like 30 centimeter scale. There's no way.
Man, dude, stuff is like so expensive.
I can't justify that for 30 centimeter. Unless it was like a real Oyama piece and there's only like 15 pieces in existence, because I've spent more than that on a 30 centimeter, but it's not for something that's mass produced. And then Tanaka is doing a 55.
Ooh.
So I wanted to share this too because I thought this was going to be cool. I don't think he's going to be at Summer Wonderfest, but we should be seeing an announcement for this soon. I really like this design, and honestly,
what's the size? What's the size on it?
Well, it's a 3D sculpt. I don't know. It could be 30 centimeter. It could be 50. I don't know. But I do think that like the white eyes really look cool on the 55. Now that I see it, it looks way more menacing.
He kind of looks like 04 right there.
Yeah. But yeah. But no, that's literally all that I had. And now we're going to get over to Boss Man.
See.
Helmy, I think you had an acquisition and then you had a bunch of other stuff. The pictures that you sent. Hold on.
What's wrong with that?
We'll start with this one, and then we'll go through it. So I think that
I'll be honest, I'm tempted to get some of the ones that I'm showing off. So, so there's a plushie, 54 plushie. They're all about 30 centimeters, so pretty decent size.
They're pretty big, huh?
Yeah.
How much are they? Do you know?
3,000 plus yen, so pretty cheap. That's like $20 for you guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I kind of like this one too. Be cute.
Yeah.
Next, Shin Godzilla. I don't know about this one though. It kind of looks weird.
He got boobies. He got breastises, man. Like straight up. We got some.
I wish we could see the tail on him.
Nah, I don't think they posted it. I have to check again. Then next, I'm tempted by this one though. Gigan, quite tempted.
His legs look so weird.
I like it.
They went all out with the space chicken. He's got straight up duck legs.
This one's completely sold out. I think it was sold out even on the first day, Hedera. So I'm not surprised. Hedera is really, really popular.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
And that's
Andy
it.
Peters.
Oh yeah. And we have a Godzilla pillow if you guys want one in your, Godzilla room.
Set up like a body pillow.
Nah, that's not that big. It's about maybe 35 centimeters. And this on the good US Godzilla store. They have that baseball jerseys and stuff like that. So I quite like that one. Yeah, look at the back, man. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I wonder why they did 70.
70th anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, what?
Devin's tired. Leave him alone.
Well, I thought it was like something to do with baseball, like maybe that was Hideki Matsui's number or something. But yeah, 70, that makes sense.
I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, next up is we're talking about review. We're gonna review Kong Skull Island. I watched it yesterday on 4K Blu-ray. Who wants to go first? Who's excited to go for first position?
I really want to know why Charles thinks it's the worst MonsterVerse movie.
Yeah, Charles, start us out. Kick
go
us
for it.
off, buddy.
All right, I got you. Okay, so I have an inherent bias because I don't really like Kong. The only Kong that I like is 2005. That's it.
Yeah, that's the best one. So
Yeah, no, it's Peter Jackson. Everything he does is great.
Yeah.
Greg's like,
There you
no, I like the Jessica Lange one, man.
I actually
Yeah.
really do. I really
I
do.
knew.
I really fucking do. And I like 33, so go fuck yourselves. And I like Ho Kong, so go fuck yourselves.
No, I don't know, man. Like
Dwan.
the thing that pisses me off the most about this movie is that it sets up a lot in the beginning that could really go somewhere and that could really be like interesting, and then it just literally does nothing with it. It sets up these character arcs and then just says, go fuck yourself, we're not going to go into any of this. One of those things is like Sam Jackson's character. By the way, I just finished watching it like a couple hours ago and I can't remember
too.
any of the characters' names. Not a single
Agreed.
one. Yeah, they're completely forgettable.
Sam
But anyways,
Jackson characters like Sanderson or
I have no
Sandoval
clue.
or Sandaman,
yeah, I have no clue. I'm just going to call him
Sandwich Man,
I'm just going to call him Sam Jackson. So Sam Jackson,
Jackson Man.
he had this part in the very beginning where he's like looking at all of his medals and all this stuff, and he's like, all of this for what? And then he gets the call and he's like excited to go on another mission when they're about to go home, and it's like, this is interesting. This is like a character arc that could really be fascinating if you like go into the psychology of this, like why after being a decorated war hero, like he still feels unsatisfied. Why is that? And then it just turns him into a cliche where he's like, revenge, and I'm going to kill the ape, and that's it. And it's like, where was all of that interesting stuff before that just completely disappears? Like, it's like the writers were like, we're going to get them engaged, and then we're just going to like, make them turn their brains off for the rest of the film. And then Captain Marvel is in it, and she's as annoying.
Pre-Captain Marvel.
She's still Captain Marvel to me. She's annoying as hell as usual. I think like one of her first lines, they're like, they say her name and they're like, that's a woman, and she's like, last time I checked, and then storms off, and I'm like, okay, here we go. This typical bullshit
boss girl
MCU
moment.
stuff. Yeah, boss girl moment. Yeah, so like she was boring as hell. I didn't care about her at all. I don't even remember her name. And
Tom Hiddleston was Muscle Man without muscles.
Yeah, Loki.
Yeah.
So Loki also is a stereotype. He's just like, we got to find the guy that can be our guide, and he's going to be a badass, and we're going to find him in a bar, and he's going to get in a bar fight, and then he's going to
catch a fly with his bare hand.
Let me say something really quick. I think this movie could have been a lot better if, obviously, they just cut out all the extra military characters, and they had, instead of Tom Hiddleston, Jason Statham. I think that would have made the movie a lot better.
Oh, no.
I'm the transporter.
Because, dude, like Tom Hiddleston, he's like all serious, cutting the bats, and it's just so stupid. But if it was Jason Statham, it'd be like, okay, yeah,
No.
That's what he does. He chops megalodons in half.
Okay,
No.
okay. So I haven't even gotten into all my notes yet. I'm just
Go.
I'm just doing a general thing. Okay. So this is gonna be completely out of order. Okay. So obviously I wrote like completely forgettable characters, and like I don't remember anybody's name or anything. So completely out of order because I just kind of like at the end of the movie I just wrote down a bunch of stuff. The scene where they're in the mass graveyard and the skull crawler attacks them. The way that they can track the skull crawler in the mist is a camera going off. Why the fuck is a camera going off inside of the skull crawler? How
He's
like what
still
is
taking
initiating
pictures
that?
from the inside. He's like, oh
Dude,
wow,
come
this is.
on. It's just such a weak plot device. It's like we need
What I
something.
thought was
We need
Let me-
something
let
so
me-
that they could see where it is. So why don't we just have a camera in its belly that's autonomous and it can operate itself?
Bro,
You
it's
know?
1973. Camera technology.
Let me
is fucking
expand on
amazing.
that real quick. When he's taking pictures, it's like barely flashing, but
Yeah.
when it's inside of him, it's like a flashbang going off.
Yeah.
I mean,
and-
it's a stupid little nitpick, but
oh, I have more.
Yeah.
It's the parts that make the whole.
I love how our podcast physically hurts Helmy.
Yeah, the gas mask 300 ripoff with Loki is the worst scene in the entire fucking film, in my opinion, because it is literally completely derivative of what Zack Snyder did with his slow motion, fast motion, slow motion, fast motion action, and the camera angle and the zoom and the zoom out and the zoom in and the zoom out. It is a complete and direct ripoff that lacks any type of creativity that the director obviously lacks. Like they have no individuality in completely copying that sequence. And not only that, but him putting on the gas mask serves one purpose: to make it aesthetic. There's no point in him putting on the gas mask because he puts it on for like 20 seconds, then he just takes it off. So he
just
puts
take it right
it
off.
on and he slashes bats with a sword, and they do a 300 sequence, and then he just takes it off. And it's like, why did you put the mask on if you're just going to take it off? Why isn't anybody else wearing masks if it's so dangerous? Like, there's so many logical errors. Like, this is like on par with Kenobi.
Charles, can I ask you something real quick? So
Yeah.
do these little like nitpicks, like the camera and like that kind of thing, does that like really ruin the movie for you?
If I feel that it's copying, almost like plagiarizing something else that did it better, then yes, I feel like that makes it a lot worse for me. If you're going to there's a difference between paying homage and then like taking something and making it worse. And they're not paying homage here. They're literally just copying and pasting the same exact technique and then not adding anything unique to it. The Iwi don't even speak for the entire fucking movie, dude. And they're like a completely stereotypical tribe that you see in a movie where they find these like strange tribes people, and they don't even talk and they have no personality and they're just kind of there.
They took good care of John C. Reilly for like 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
No,
And then-
dude, they can't talk. It was established they cannot talk.
Okay, sign language, anything.
Is that
Any type of
established in the feature
communication?
film?
Yeah. It was established that they telepathy.
Yeah, but is that established in a future film?
Yes.
Well, then you can't fucking that's a mark against this film.
Yeah.
Because you can't be like, oh, hold tight, watch 3 more films, and that'll explain why these people aren't talking.
What's
the girl doesn't talk either from
What's the-
GBK.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like if we're just gonna take this film on its merits, Charles' criticism is valid.
Yeah.
It's easier for the writers too, you know. So-
Oh, of course it is. It's lazy. But yeah, like retconning aside, and it's funny that Greg mentions that, like establishing something else in a future film. I will say that Monarch further negatively impacted my opinion of this movie, because the whole time that I saw John Goodman on screen, I'm like, God damn, it's been
I knew.
it's
I was
been
thinking the same thing.
13 fucking years, dude, and you're this
he's
old.
really depressed, and he's
Dude,
been eating a lot of
So
Doritos.
the continuity in the MonsterVerse, like rewatching this and then having seen Monarch, reminds me of X-Men, like Fox's X-Men. It's so terrible. I thought that the humor,
Hold up. People can age a lot in 13 years. I've seen really bad examples.
he wasn't
It's
on
true,
heroin,
it's true.
Helmy.
He lived inside of a bottle and smoked nonstop.
Yeah, he wasn't shooting up under a bridge with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay?
Bro, you
He-
haven't seen season 2 of Monarch yet. You haven't seen season 2 of
that
Monarch
train.
yet.
Okay. Anyways,
Can't wait to review season 2 of Monarch, by the way.
Jesus, man, I'm gonna like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Quit the
I'm gonna have
Bro,
podcast.
we're gonna get
fucking-
to see King Kong in season 2 for like 30 seconds, dude.
Oh yeah,
Are
I'm
you
gonna have to
excited?
like be really drunk watching that whole thing. I thought that like 90% of the humor in the film didn't hit for me, and I thought it was really cringe MCU humor. I think that they were trying to like kind of capture again a lack
Well,
of
look at your cast.
exactly. Yeah, you have like 3 MCU actors in the main cast. Oh, John C. Reilly was in the MCU in Guardians actually. I thought Eazy-E and Dr. Dre were like the only
Toby
good parts of the
Kebbell
film.
was MCU adjacent because he played Doctor Doom in Fant Four Stick.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, so I thought that most of the humor was pretty bad. John C. Reilly, the moment that John C. Reilly comes on the screen is the moment that I like stop taking anything of the movie seriously. I thought that he was annoying and I couldn't stand anything that he said, and I didn't believe him for a second, especially him wielding a samurai sword and swinging it around. I literally cringed when I saw that. The award for the stupidest sacrifice ever on film is the guy with the grenade, who like they build up the emotion and he's like, telling him just go, and then he like holds the grenades and then he just gets swatted away. It's
Hang on.
completely pointless and useless. It does nothing.
I know you were going to bring up that point. I just want to say quickly that I think it was to establish the fact that this monster is smart, like it's aware. You know what I mean?
Why do you
Well,
have to? Why do you have to explain that?
I think it's more so like representative of the characters of the movie. It's like, yeah,
They're all
throw away.
throwaway.
Who cares?
It's like the guy that gets picked up by the pteranodons just randomly, and then they're just like, he's gone, and they move on. And it's like, why was he even there? Why are these people even here? If you cut out 90% of these characters, the runtime would be a lot less, but it would probably make more sense. And that guy, though, I really do think that's like the dumbest sacrifice ever on screen that I've seen, because it's absolutely serves 0 point. And so what Helmy's saying, like, my biggest gripe with stuff nowadays is like, you shouldn't have to explain it. That's the writer's job. You shouldn't have to stand there and like come up with an explanation as to why this is happening or why this is all going on. Like, it's the writer's job to convey that. It's the writer's job. So if you have to explain it, you're confirming what I'm saying, that it's bad
not a very
writing.
good movie.
Yeah, and
I agree.
the last
But you
nitpicking.
can at
But
least
if you
say,
buy
like,
a
seeing
tie-in
this-
comic book and a video game, and then go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal, then you might get the whole fucking picture.
Yep. Yeah.
that
and
scene was at least pretty funny though, right?
the last nitpicky thing that I had that was like a logical error for me was when Kong is like fighting the Skullcrawler in the final fight. I actually rewinded it to confirm like what I kind of was confused about, but there's the point where he picks up a tree, he rips a tree out, and he like cleans off the branches. There are no trees in that entire like area that they're in. It's a lake and then mountains, and on the mountains is like moss and grass and stuff. There's no trees anywhere. And like I
Deus
rewound
Ex
it, I went back
Burn
and
tree.
forth, and there are no trees even before the fight started. So the tree just manifested itself. There's no like continuity with that. But yeah, so I decided that like moving forward, I was going to start doing a score based on 5 different categories: cinematography, performances, writing, score, and VFX. Okay, cinematography, Helmy will like this. I gave it a 9 out of 10. This is a very good looking movie. I really do think that the cinematography and the camera angles for the most part are excellent. I love,
especially the night scene with Samuel L. Jackson and King Kong is really cool.
and the the scene with the sun and the helicopters going in and Kong
Oh
like,
yeah,
appears on
that's like
it's
the magnum opus of the movie.
Yeah,
So
no,
good.
like the cinematography is gorgeous, and that's like the highest rated thing that I had. Performances, I'll put a 2 on it because I think that Eazy-E and Dr. Dre were great, but everybody else were terrible. Everybody else, like, I couldn't stand. Writing, I'll give it a 3, primarily based on consistency and continuity and Deus Ex Machina, like Greg said. The score, I'll give it a 5. It was kind of bland, but I liked the heavy, deep bass notes that they had. And VFX, I was gonna give it higher, but I'm gonna give it a 6 because there's one scene in particular where Loki is slashing a like pteranodon, and you see the purple blood, and it looks terrible. It is so obviously CGI. And there are certain parts, like in the big monster fights, where like the CGI just wasn't there for me. But that gives me the average rating that I have, like adding all of that up, is a 5 out of 10, which I think is exactly what I gave it on IMDb, which is interesting. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
You have just physically harmed our friend in Australia.
He is distraught. I guess I'll go. I won't be as long. I don't really have that much to say about this movie. Overall, like once you get to the island, the movie is pretty much nonstop action packed. You get to see Kong a lot. You get to see a lot of cool monsters on the island, and going into a King Kong movie, I mean, that just, makes me happy. I wish there was a T-Rex or something, but there isn't. We get the skull crawlers instead, and they're pretty cool. And at this point, I feel like an iconic character in the Godzilla universe. But yeah, the action is great. It's like pretty well paced. Do you think so, Charles? Like the movie's like well paced? Can you at least give it that?
Majority, yes. There are certain parts, like when the guy gets picked up by the Pteranodon on the boat, that completely ruins the pace of the story. Like at that point, it just I think they were trying to like keep the tension up, but I think they failed miserably. But like other than that, like I do think it is fast paced and it's constantly moving.
Yeah. I just want to talk about some of the action scenes. Like, so the first action scene with the helicopters and King Kong, man, is so good. That's got to be like one of the best Kong scenes ever. I really liked it. And then after that, I think we have the spider in the bamboo forest. That was pretty cool. I like the scene where the spider like goes straight down into the dude's mouth. That was pretty nice.
I just want to quickly say, this is going to be part of my review actually. That I think is a callback to Cannibal Holocaust. I was like, oh my god, Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
I mean all that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got that. I don't know. There's a bunch of action scenes. I really liked it. I mean, when I saw the movie, I enjoyed it. I was really happy because I was like, wow, that was a lot better than 2014. So I think I'm satisfied with it. A lot of action.
Michael's right. They should have had Gorosaurus in the movie.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I love Gorosaurus.
So cute. All right. So what's your score?
Overall score for the movie, I would give it, when I watched Kong, I'm not like, all right, this better be as good as Citizen Kane, I enjoyed it.
We'll talk about this.
It's a legendary MonsterVerse movie. I enjoyed it. If I had to be critical, I would probably give it like a 6. I do wish that the tribe would talk, because it would be cool to have like a throwback to 62, like the singing and stuff.
Yes.
Like that's missed.
Missed opportunity.
That could have really elevated the score besides AC/DC. But
yeah. Well, a singular point is still better, right, Devin?
Huh?
Singular point is still better, right?
No, if I had to choose to watch one, Skull Island is better than Singular Point.
Simply because it's much shorter for you?
No, he doesn't have to think. That's why he
Give
wants
me
to watch
Singular Point.
Yeah, dude, I could just sit there and watch people die and monsters fight. That's all I want. So if I'm being critical, 6 in a legendary scale of movies, for just legendary movies, I would give this one a 9, because the bar isn't that high.
Whoa! Come on, bro.
Just in the legendary universe, it gets a 9 if you rated all of them. You see what I'm saying here?
You're saying in the franchise.
Yeah, just in the franchise.
I understand that. He's holding it to a difference. This is literally Helmy's conversation for later.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so
rating in the franchise a 9, rating overall 6.
All right. So if we kind of average that out, so what, 7.5?
8. Just give it an 8. No 0.5s.
No 0.5s? What? I believe in 0.5s. Anyways, go ahead, Greg.
Charles hit on a lot of my complaints. The characters are terrible and completely forgettable. I was watching the movie an hour and a half ago, and it was towards the very end, and I realized I was like, I don't know fucking Sam Jackson's name in this film. And then I watched the film, I paid attention. They're like Sanderson, Samuelson, Sandrickson. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what this guy's name is. I just don't care. And that's a big indictment on the film. Is it's well paced, but it's a decently long film, and I don't give a fuck about any of those people. The monsters are cool. The big spider's cool. My wife watched it with me. She was crying about like the big ox and stuff, and the ox trapped under the fucking helicopter. But then my wife was like, "How can that girl pick up a helicopter?" And I'm like, "Well,
yeah." I was like, she must have known about
she's Captain Marvel. She's
casting,
Captain right.
so
She's Captain Marvel. She can pick up a helicopter. So
yeah, like, why are you even trying? When I saw that, I was like, that makes no fucking sense.
My biggest thing, and neither of you guys have mentioned it yet, but like, it's trying so hard to be like, this is Vietnam with monsters.
Yep.
We're walking around in the jungle fighting fucking the VAK, but it's Kaiju, you know.
It goes back to the fact that it has no identity of its own, and it's just like ripping off of Apocalypse Now.
It's Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket,
Platoon.
Yeah. But
if they really focused on
VCA with fucking monsters, bro.
What's his name? The bigger dude, the dude from Roseanne. I forget his name.
John Goodman.
John Good.
If they really focus on John Goodman, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, and Jason Statham, if he was in the movie, that's who Tom Hiddleston played. He literally played Jason Statham in the movie.
No, Tom Hiddleston played fucking Adrian Brody from Predators.
Yeah, that's
it. Like Tom Hiddleston is Adrian Brody from Predators as a guy against King Kong in Skull Island.
He thinks he's a lot cooler than he actually is, but
it wasn't horrible. It really wasn't. If they just
focused on that core cast and they just had everyone else die at the beginning, I think the movie could have been a lot better.
The helicopter scene is very fun.
Yeah, and then maybe you have some scenes where there's like a lone survivor here and there, so you can still get those cool kills. But
something
focus
that
on
hasn't
that cast,
been
like have
here.
them wanting to stop Samuel L. Jackson, like kind of make that movie. Instead.
This film has heavy Godzilla foreshadowing. And King Kong is a total fucking pussy. So, look at how
What's the Godzilla foreshadowing you're talking about?
He's also smaller than Suko.
Well, yes, exactly.
That's insane, dude.
A lot of it is like retroactive foreshadowing. So they mentioned the Hollow Earth stuff a lot in the jungle. The guy's like, oh, the Hollow Earth, blah, 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 blah. And then they kind of talk about how Skull Island is like a nexus point. And so like, it's almost like Skull Island is like the Hollow Earth ecosystem on Earth itself. And so if that's the case, great. And if Kong's people got slaughtered there, awesome. Well, then at the end of the movie, Godzilla's roaring and shit. And they're showing murals and paintings of Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra and King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Kong got wrecked in this movie. Like, how's a helicopter blade made him like, I mean, that is like kind of backed up in Godzilla X Kong, where he gets really cold in Antarctica and almost dies of, the rhinovirus.
Well, yeah. I guess he's supposed to be a baby. So.
Yeah. Smaller than Zuko.
I was going to say too, because I forgot about this logical problem that I had, but when he rips out the Skullcrawler's tongue, so he's doing that while he's holding Captain Marvel in his hand. So how did he grip the tongue if his hand was closed and he had Captain Marvel in his hand? And then also, if he did open his hand to grip the tongue, why wasn't there any blood on Captain Marvel? I just failed to understand how he ripped out the thing's tongue.
I think that they really shouldn't have forced the whole Kong and girl kind of thing in this movie. Like, he's just way too big for it to work, I think. And I don't think they should have tried that. I think, you could have just had like Brie Larson like trying to help Kong out, and maybe Kong can recognize that and like be like, all right, respect, whatever. But besides that, I don't think you need the whole picking up and like, ooh,
the only sign language that Kong needs.
Again, it's like retroactive continuity though, because like when he was fighting the Skullcrawler at the end and he's cutting him up with a the anchor, or sorry, the propeller from the boat. I was literally thinking, I was like, so that's about the same size as the skull crawler that Mechagodzilla just like rips in half, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
isn't it?
apparently that one is supposed to be bigger, and people were saying like, "Oh, why isn't the Haya one bigger? This one should be bigger." So
Which one
I
should
don't
be
know.
bigger?
It, like
The
really,
Skull
at the
Island
end of
one or the 2019 one? Or the
the
2021?
2019 Skullcrawler is apparently a lot bigger than
That's
the
what I thought.
Skull Island.
So the
Yeah.
Skull Island one is not even that big. So
Yeah.
again, it's like it just, I don't know. It's interesting when you slot it into the framework of the other films.
I
Kong's
think
a
you
bitch,
guys.
is
I
what
think
I'm
we
saying.
just have
Where's
to accept
Anastasia?
it. We have to
It-
accept that this is a franchise that they don't really care about that much.
There's no rules.
Yeah.
Kong's floating
Right.
around and flying with crystals.
It's Fox's X-Men, but with kaiju.
All right,
I
so
think
final
those movies are better.
All right. You want a number?
Yeah, give me the number.
You want a number? All right.
Yeah.
3.
The 3.
A 3.
Helmy's so tired of our
no,
shit.
mine to a one.
I'm kidding. I just had to say that. I just had to make Helmy just get sad real. Honestly, okay. I don't like to rate it against the merits of like the MonsterVerse versus a regular film. I'm gonna try to kind of meet in the middle. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give this a 7. Just a 7.
Wow.
Wow.
Better score than mine. Wow.
Wow.
So
I didn't expect that. Wow.
Helmy's
was-
got to be at a 10.
I like King Kong films. I love King Kong films. And
too.
this is like the 4th King Kong film that I would watch if I was choosing a King Kong film. But I could think of worse King Kong films to watch. Definitely. And also as a MonsterVerse film, it is probably the best MonsterVerse film. Probably. It's weird because it's the movie where they definitely make that shift where it's still kind of serious with the whole Vietnam allegory shit, but then like it's ridiculous and stupid in so many ways. So
Before Helmy goes, I just have 2 questions for Charles real quick. You said this is the worst MonsterVerse movie, so you think it's better than 2019 or worse than 2019?
oh god, no, come on, bro.
I would rather watch 2019. Like
Oh.
literally.
I think it's just because you're not a Kong fan, I guess.
I already said that I have an inherent bias.
Anastasia
but-
would have skewed this rating so hard.
Yeah,
today.
but like I would rather watch 2019 simply for the Rodan scene alone. The Rodan scene alone is better than the entirety of Skull Island.
I'll
So-
agree with that, but
You said you had a nitpick about how the Skullcrawler used its tongue to eat a person. What was that?
No. I was talking about. I thought you were talking about when he like rips out his tongue. That's what I was. meaning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I went over that. Yeah, I just didn't understand how he ripped out his tongue if he was holding her, and then if he did, then why wasn't she covered in blood? Didn't make
I
any
think
sense.
maybe you missed the scene where he tosses her behind his back and catches her.
Oh.
In the other.
Oh yeah, and then he does a layup with her onto the mountain.
in 2024, apes are big business in the summer box office.
They are.
Scar
Yeah.
King and Proxima Caesar are tearing it up, doing big things.
Yes, they are.
All right.
All right, Helmy.
Finally, me. Okay, so I get the plot holes. There were a couple of plot holes I noticed, but for me, I'm not too fussed when it comes to plot holes unless it's so damn like obvious and over the top stupid. Like I can deal with stupid, just not over the top stupid, right? So I'm okay with plot holes. I love that Cannibal Holocaust call a throwback. I was like, oh, that was I just got excited for that. For me, the opening was amazing. I really enjoyed the opening. And if you had like Adobe Atmos setup, dude, that is one of the most epic experiences you can hear. I really, really enjoyed it. And the introduction of Kong, I love that. Opening scene is one of the most interesting and exciting openings of any kaiju movies I've seen, honestly. What else? I like John C. Reilly, to be honest. Like, no, generally I don't like him, but in this movie I was tickled. Right? I was tickled. And there were some bits that I liked where he was like he spoke in Japanese, death before dishonor. I kind of like that bit, and his friendship with the Japanese guy. I know it wasn't shown, but I could feel it. For me, I felt it. I didn't mind the fact that all the tribe were just completely silent. For me, I thought that added to the mystery. I like that actually. For me, it was interesting. I would have much rather that than them talking, to be honest. And the way that John C. Reilly was interacting with them, I kind of like that whole sequence. And then because we usually see a sympathetic Kong, right? And to see when dude, what the fuck, when the planes were coming and then he started destroying everything, I was like, whoa, this is not the Kong that we normally see.
See, I would still argue he is sympathetic because those assholes came and dropped a bunch of bombs on his home.
I agree, but we don't see him like being right from the get-go being so aggressive, literally destroying everything. I think he ate one of the airmen. It was cut.
Yes.
But come on, we know. Yeah. So I'm like, God damn, this is a different take. And this action sequence is like, God, you guys were on the ball. Like, and with the helicopter and the sun, dude, the cinematography for that scene. Ooh. And another scene, cinematography-wise, I really liked was Samuel L. Jackson when he was at night and he was against Kong, trying to draw him out with the fire. I love that whole sequence. I really, really enjoyed it.
It's good.
Kong almost dies to napalm and a handgun. He's a pussy.
I didn't mind it. And I agree with Devin about Captain Marvel being like, I didn't get the whole sequence. They didn't need to include that, to be honest.
You know what the best line in the whole movie was, homie?
What?
When Sam Jackson says, "And remember, hold on to your butts." I was like, I see what you did there. Did there. Jurassic Park call out.
I like when the Richard Nixon bobblehead declared war on Skull Island.
Yeah. And for me, another thing that for me, here's the thing: when that whole ending sequence, because right when the movie was released, and I remember watching it super early days, like probably day one or something like that, we had no idea there was going to be Godzilla versus Kong. We didn't know that, it was kept pretty hush, or at least I didn't know. So when that whole sequence about like, oh, there's going to be Godzilla, bruh, I creamed my pants. I was literally like, jumping. I could not believe it.
Did they introduce Monarch in this movie?
Or was
Monarch? Wasn't Monarch in 2014?
Yes.
Was it?
No.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, Serizawa was in 2014.
Yeah, and they show them the logo in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, I didn't think in my head that there was because there was no mention about that going to be a crossover. So for me,
because even the director was like, "I'm not interested in doing Godzilla versus King Kong." Remember that?
Yeah. So for me, that was a core memory. Like, what the fuck? I got so excited, dude. I think I had even a single tear come down my eye because I was like, I cannot believe this is going to happen. So core memory. So my score might be biased because of that. I mean, you know what? Nah, fuck it. It's not going to be part of the score because it's at the end of the movie anyway. But I enjoyed the movie. I saw the flaws. I didn't mind it. So I'm going to give it as a kaiju movie. Again, I know Greg hates that, but as a kaiju movie, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
And what about just as a movie in general?
I feel like he's probably right there with me.
I'm probably gonna give it a 5.5. 5.5.
A 5?
5.5.
All right, Greg has rated this movie the highest out of all.
Yeah, see?
No, no. I give it an 8. So
No, but my
5.5
on a balanced overall scale, and so I'll explain. We'll talk.
Okay. So what's the average? Okay, hang on. Which scores are we using? Can we use my 8? Because I'm gonna stick with 8.
Yeah. So it's a 7, an 8, a 9, and what'd you give it, Charles? A 3,
I gave it a 5.
a 5. Okay, a 5, a 7, an 8, and a 9.
Yeah, what's the average of that?
So my actual movie scale was 6. Legendaries, I said 9.
Well, what are you giving it then?
Well, I guess if I have to average it out between those two scales, then a 7.
7 plus 5 plus 8.
It's
And
a
then-
6.75.
6.75. Okay.
6.75.
What's the IMDb?
What's IMDb got it at?
Scarlet Island. Michael, if you're here, what's your score? Scarlet Island. Let's see.
A 6.7. On
Oh,
IMDb.
really?
Whoa! Pretty good.
I think that's like the second time in a row we like literally got the exact rating that it had on IMDb, because I think we had the same exact one for 2019.
It's good for discourse.
Michael Hank gives it a
All right,
7.5.
let me throw that in.
You should have. I don't think it will move that much.
7.5. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah, that bumps it
when
up
I
to a
watch it, I
6.9.
don't nitpick
Still
it.
pretty
I just watch it. You know, I just enjoy it when I do watch it, like once every 3 years.
The thing is like, you know, I understand it's like a lot different for other people. Like they're able to like watch something and turn their brains off. But like I, you know, did a lot of professional editing, and I also like still edit novels for authors. And like when I watch a movie, my brain is like wired at this point to notice discrepancies in the writing specifically. So it's like, it's not that I'm like intentionally looking for these things. It's just that that's the way that my mind works, is that like I notice it instantly. And it
My
just
brain
like,
is part of my enjoyment process. I kind of like
Yeah.
critical thinking.
no, I love to be challenged. Anything that challenges me like to think and to follow along is where I really enjoy it. But it has to be well written. If it's not well written, then you know I can't enjoy
Good
it.
writing is
I love to
dying right
watch
these days.
things and let them go through my eyes, and that's it.
I can't. I wouldn't remember a single thing if I did that.
All right. So, post-pod discussions, we're going to talk about this reviewing system.
What
right?
about acquisitions?
What? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Forgot about acquisition. Sorry. Yeah, let's go. Let's do
What are
it.
you doing, Twog? What are you doing?
I have
sorry.
none. I have no
You have
acquisitions. Yeah, it's been a rough month, so
Oh, Greg
Oh.
has one. Greg, you
I
got my
guess I'll
favorite.
go then.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let
Okay.
Devin start. Let Devin start.
All right, so I've been getting into the Aliens Kenner line a lot lately. Just because, like, I don't know, I've always loved Alien. I was like, I should just collect this retro line because I like retro figures and older stuff. So I got a few things. I got the Power Loader from
Nice.
Kenner.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I have Ripley separate, but
that's the
yeah,
OG.
this is cool. It actually looks a little bit different than what the Power Loader looks like in the movie. It's got like
yeah.
wheels on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Turret?
I had that when I was a kid. It's great.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we got the Power Loader, and then
I got some
got
for your power loader,
this.
baby.
the Evac Fighter.
Nice.
Okay.
I never had that. That has the bubble, right?
Yeah, this is used
Yeah.
to capture the Queen Alien, which Greg had got me,
Wow.
and I need to pick up, dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so the Evac Fighter. This is just really cool. I love like retro toys like this. So I can't wait to display this, and it's gonna look awesome. I'm gonna take some pictures, do some photoshops with this. It'll be cool. And then it's funny, we're comparing X-Men, Fox X-Men to Skull Island because I got the X
Oh
kit.
shit.
Oh,
That's badass.
I had
dude.
this one as a kid, and I'm, I've told you guys before, I'm buying a bunch of stuff I had as a kid, and this one's awesome. It shoots missiles. It has a handle, so you can like hold it from the bottom, and it lights up, has sound effects, and it comes with this Wolverine right here, which is like the only figure of Hugh Jackman in this suit, or one of the only ones.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know if y'all can see it, but
Yeah, I can
we
see
got
it.
that, and then just one more thing. It's another vehicle. So this I had as a kid as well. It's from the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Oh shit!
This is their van, dude. This thing is awesome. It has like a retractable wire for towing stuff, has missiles, a bunch of stuff, dude. And you could put all the Ninja Turtles inside it. And man, I had so much fun with this when I was a kid. So I was really happy to finally get this. I've been like hunting a good price one for like 2 years now. So finally got this. But yeah, that's it for me. No Godzilla stuff.
That's so cool though, because I've actually been wanting to like get more ships. I want to get. Unfortunately, as usual, everything I want to get is super expensive. But I want to get like the Nostromo, the Sulaco, the Prometheus ship. I want to get the Battlestar Galactica, like a big scale one, especially if it can light up.
What about
I want to get.
You just want those actual ships, like a model, or do you want like is it a particular line you're thinking of, like an older figure? Or?
So unfortunately, for the Aliens ones, there have been a few kits of them. Eagle Moss did a few figures, but they're die cast and they're really small. I want something larger. So like I would probably have to do Halcyon kits from the 90s, or I'd have to do Aoshima did a few, and those are very expensive, but they look great. I want to get the dropship from Aliens too. I love that design. And what else? The Hunter Killer from Terminator. Yeah. Like I want to get anything that's not Star Wars and Star Trek, basically. Like I want to get ships from everything but those franchises.
Hey,
but yeah.
Have you heard of the brand Micro Machines?
Yes, they did. God. They did a lot of stuff for. Are you talking about Micro Machines or Cinema Machines? Micro Machines,
like they did a lot of Star Wars, Star Trek ships.
Oh, I'm thinking of Cinema Machines. Cinema Machines.
Okay, well, Micro Machines, they did a lot of. You'll probably see them if you go to any retro like toy store. They did a lot of like little mini ships for a bunch of movies, but they did a set of Predator and Alien, and it's a playset, right? And the playset is like a giant Predator head, and the Alien one is a giant alien head. And the back opens up. It's a whole playset, but it comes with their ships. They're tiny, but it's cool. I gotta send you guys a picture of them. They're pretty sick.
Look, I'm gonna super fast, homie. I just want to show you guys what the dropship includes by Aoshima because it's really cool.
The Nostromo is the ship that Sigourney Weaver was on. It's not the curved ship.
Yeah, the Nostromo is from the original film. The one that
what's the curve ship called?
The
Derelict. The Derelict.
Oh, you're talking about the engineer ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the Derelict, and then the little one that she escapes on though is the Narcissus, I think.
Yeah, Narcissus.
Yeah. Help me, I'm trying to share my screen, dog. I want to show you guys this. Okay, this is the dropship by Aoshima. It's 172 scale. This one I really want. It's die cast and it comes pre-painted.
Oh man, that is cool.
Isn't that neat? And then it also comes with the APC and an alien queen.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Does the alien queen have any moving parts on it?
Yeah, no, all this can move. Yeah, like the parts on if you look here, the missile launchers are compartmentalized and they can come out.
Does the back like drop open?
Yeah, it comes with little troops that you can put into it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
You can put a troop into the cockpit too. The only issue is that like if you purchase this thing from like eBay, it can carry the APC too. But if you like purchase this on eBay, it's like $500 to $600. But even on Buy, like it usually goes for about $300.
I wonder what that retailed for, bro.
Not a lot, but Aoshima did a lot of stuff, man. They did the Sulaco too, and a few other things. Like you can see the prices here, dude. $500, $800. Like this is ridiculous. $469, $499. But yeah, like this is the kind of stuff I want to get, man. And I'm just bringing all this up because you're talking about like collecting ships and stuff. Because I've been wanting to do the same thing. But of course, what I want is expensive as hell. It's just how it goes for me.
Yeah, these aren't too bad. Like there was I think the only one I spent over $100 on was the X-Jet, and it was like $120. But It's hard to get them sealed. That's why it's expensive. You can get like an open one for like $40. But
Right.
yeah, Greg, what'd you get?
Well, we'll just keep that alien theme alive. Yeah, I nabbed up that alien queen for Devin.
Yeah, I need that. I need to go get that. It's cool. The mouth comes out.
You know, I
Yeah.
like the alien queen.
Thank you.
I
for
had
that.
her. Oh, of course, brother, of course. Yeah, Devin and I hung out the night before I went to this toy fair, and we were talking about the Kenner aliens. And I had that when I was a kid, and I saw that the very next day. And he wound up going to that toy fair, but I'm glad I grabbed it because you never know what might happen. You know.
Yeah, it probably would have been gone because that the one dude you're telling me about, all of his stuff was gone.
Oof. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad I grabbed it for you. It was at a very good price. Very good price. And so, very nice. You know, talking about aliens took over our podcast for a second there. Well,
Yeah.
I got this Matango from Jim Meisenheimer. It's Toygraph.
Good old
It's like a
quite-
spaghetti matango.
The Matango Inoki. There is not enough
I love it so
sales
much.
of this figure. I do too. This is really good. And I have another one of these, but it's blue and silver. This one is so much better. This is so much better. You're not really catching it on the camera here, but it's translucent also, which is quite nice.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see. Yeah. The arms are.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to still buy it, or is it just gone? There's no way.
But this,
Probably buy.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this. This is definitely never leaving the collection.
Well, he was asking if there's a way to buy it. I would guess just on Buy, right? It's not in stock or
yeah.
anything like that.
You might be able to find it on Buy. The toy graphs on Buy, these on Buy are like $500 to $700. So, whew.
What the hell? Damn,
Yeah.
those are expensive.
Oh, they've
Shit.
gone way up, and I got this for a really good price from Jim. I think I got it for what he paid for it, which is really fair, which is nice.
Oh man,
So
Wait,
probably
so,
under 100.
what-
Huh?
yeah,
What should I
yeah,
go for?
$32.
Are you joking? Are you
No, I'm
serious?
100% joking. No, it's
It's like,
quite a bit more than that. But
What's the what should I search for?
Toygraph Matango Inoki.
I'm gonna see if there's any. Oh, you.
Tell me if you
Alright.
can't find it, I could probably find one for you.
Tango, hang on.
You know, you
Toygraph. Oh, nothing's coming up. Dang it.
Well, you got to put it in the hiragana and katakana.
I'll find it for you, Helmy. I'll send it to you later. Don't worry.
All right, thank you. All right, so is it down to me? Oh no! Oh, you still have more, Greg.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I got a little bit more, but here, hold on. I'm just looking real quick on Buy, seeing if there's any. I always have the Matango page pulled up on Buy,
Hmm.
perpetually, now, forever, and ever, because you never know when you want to find things.
Yeah, sometimes I just need to avoid going on Buy because I know if I look on there, I'll find something to buy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I shouldn't be on here. All right, so there's not one on the first two pages. All right, next thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a Sun Guts Rodan.
Is that like your fifth one?
I'll tell you right here. I'm looking at all of them. They're posted up around me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the sixth one right here. And this is the
Nice.
bubblegum. Pink
You know,
with
they
the blue.
do so many colorways, but they can't do a fucking glow one.
Right? This is a very, very, very affordable Sofubi. They go for about like $45 on Buy, $50. Really fun. I love making them fly. You know, if you love Rodan the way I do, it is a fabulous toy. I'm gonna get it hanging from the ceiling. I knew I was doing this today, so that's why I don't have them hanging yet, but
Hmm.
I have them in flight mode.
Where's this?
I wonder
Where's
how
the
many-
Rodan roar? I need to hear the roar. Come on, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, they're all-
all right.
Come on, bro.
I'll bust it out. But
Let's
here's
do
the
it.
thing. Oh, guys, it's the last week of school. I finished up yesterday.
Jesus.
I am fried. I don't have any voice. Right here.
Always makes my day.
All right, so
Cheers to that.
couple things here. So I got an alien for Devin. And today in the mail, Devin for me got my favorite non-Godzilla kaiju films ever. This
Nice.
DVD of Rodan
This
and War
one-
of the Gargantuas. Yes, it's a DVD, but the special features right here, the documentary, like this is such a good double set, such a good double feature. I had this, my set got jacked up, and I really appreciate Devin grabbing this for me. This is really cool.
Yeah, and it might be a DVD, but it's pretty rare. Like,
Oh, it's very rare. It's very
Yeah.
rare. You guys should snatch up this set. This is really good. You should have this in your collection.
I feel like Arrow might eventually release Matango. I feel like it's something they would.
They should do a
Matango
set of
India.
like Matango, Gargantua, Rodan, Mothra, all the non-Godzilla movies that are still
Yeah.
kaiju movies.
Well, I mean, this was the classic media release, but then in the mid 2000s, they did release Matango, Battle in Outer Space.
I want to see. What is it? Was it Arrow? Was it Arrow Video that did the Gamera?
Yeah,
Or-
Yeah.
I want to see Arrow do a box set of that. They've done Yokai, Daimajin, and they did Gamera. I want to see them do like the non-Godzilla Toho stuff. In a
yeah,
box
just
set.
Toho Tokusatsu from
Yeah.
the 50s through the 1970s. That'd be
Yep.
amazing.
It would.
I need to
think
get that
day one
camera
purchase.
one.
Oh,
No,
dude,
the
that
Gamera
Gamera
one?
box set is
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
think
so good.
it will be at that place you were talking about, Greg, in Denver, that we're all going to go to?
Yes. Yes.
Think they'll have it? Yeah.
I know for a fact. They don't have the big one. They have the two separate small ones.
Yeah.
I see it every time I go there, though. They have it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to get the Damajin one too because I haven't
They
even
also
seen.
have that.
I haven't even seen those movies. I didn't even know
Oh,
it.
dude, they're so good.
They're very
good.
I love Daimajin. He's great.
Yeah, that's what
All
I
right,
hear.
so one more thing. Devin got me
Yeah.
this, and I showed a Sun Guts Rodan.
Yeah.
And Devin got me Rodan and War of the Gargantuas. So my last acquisition is a Shima X Gargantua set.
Oh, those look familiar.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, those are really nice. I really like Gyra. That's the green one, right? Is Gyra the green one, or is that?
Yeah,
something else?
Gyra is the green one.
Okay, yeah, he's really cool. I like his like bandit eyes, and I really like the color.
They are slightly smaller sculpt. Like not super small, but just slightly smaller as compared to a couple of the other Gargantuas, like the M1s, the Marmots, and the Bear models. But they're really nice, really vibrant colors on these, like really popping. This is the only one where I might argue I like the Sanda better. I mean,
Wow.
all right. Look at the color on him, and I like his big fist hand. Look, Sanda gonna fist you. Sanda gonna fist you.
I do think it's interesting that Sanda and Gyra have like different like skin texture sculpts. Like Sanda looks almost like brick, and then Gyra's got like more of a almost scaly kind of look. So
Yeah,
it
because
is cool that they
Gyra's
did that.
supposed to be like from the ocean, right?
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah.
while since I've watched it.
Yeah, Gyra evolved in the ocean. He grew in the ocean,
Yeah,
and Sanda grew in the mountains. That's what. Look at the hair.
yeah. I need to watch this one again, and I need to watch Frankenstein again.
Check out the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine's coming in about 1 or 2 weeks, so I'm really excited.
Oh, you got the set too, Helmy?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice, man. I hope they do that set in a glow. I would love to get that.
This set is amazing. If you guys love Gargantuas, I love Gargantuas. This set is amazing. And I'm super happy. It popped up last week and it was like, whoa, everybody, look at this set. And within 10 minutes, people were like, oh, it's on Buy. And I was able to get my set for $240. And they are going for significantly higher than that right now. So very, very cool figures right here.
I feel like that's one of the few times, like, I feel like if you buy a set on Buy as soon as it comes out, you'll regret it later. But I guess in your case, like, it's the opposite. It just got more expensive. right? Is that usually the trend? Like, because I got like the Max Toy glow in the dark Godzillas for like 120 each, and then like a couple weeks later they're like $50 on there. I was like, God damn it.
I don't know. I mean, there's probably part of that manufacturer scarcity. It's not that scarce, but there's only 80 of them.
Yeah.
And they do mark the bag that, you know, there's only 80 of them. So
Just imagine if that was Spider-Man though, and there's only 80. Holy crap! You know, it's just like it's lucky it's so niche that people, if you want it, you can get it.
yeah, I mean, you got to figure Brad Pitt has 10 of them.
Yeah.
All right. So
All
my
right,
turn.
homie, what you got? What you got?
Yeah, I only got one item, I think, if I remember correctly. Charles, you have the photo?
Yes, sir. Let me get it pulled up. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's what Helmy got is really weak sauce. It's really small. It's like the smallest thing in his collection.
Yeah, it's kind of like Playmates, right?
Yeah.
You picked this up at Walmart.
Yeah, no, he definitely got it from Walmart in the dollar bin.
Whoa!
That's why I got the 85 centimeter Human Studios Mecha Godzilla, and the eyes light up as well. Really, really cool. He's massive. He's completely resin. I don't think it's hollow in any way, shape, or form. So it's like about 154 pounds, which is stupid heavy. Me and my friend were struggling to bring it up to my room. Paint job on Mecha Godzilla itself is amazing. I am very, very surprised because I've never really heard of this company, you know, and maybe it's also because the edition size is really small. It's only 150 pieces. So paint job on Mecha Godzilla, excellent. Paint job on the base and the buildings, fucking shit, right? Like I would give it probably a 5 or 6 out of 10 for the base, but Mecha Godzilla itself, man, an easy 9.5. I think it's really, really good. I'm really, really happy with it. Considering the size, the shape, the boxes, the weight, and stuff like that, it was a steal. It wasn't so really expensive. In fact,
How much was it?
I think before shipping, if I remember correctly, I think it was 1,400. So that's
Bro,
less.
and the Prime One, they want 2,000 for the Godzilla. What the
Yeah.
hell?
I spent
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than that on PA.
And that one right there is like way bigger than the Prime One, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's brand name, dude. It's all about brand name. Prime One has like the reputation to back it up for that type of price. People will still buy it. That's why they
It's
do it.
amazing, Helmy, that came to you with, I assume, no brakes, right?
One of the fingers came off, but it looks like it's just maybe a glue issue. I'm not sure, but once I plug it in, you cannot tell whatsoever. So yeah, no brakes. Essentially.
Wow. Yeah, 1,400, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, shipping was 1,000 though.
Oh God.
That sounds
Right.
right.
So it'll probably turn out to be the
He
same
comes
as
from
the
a
Prime
land
One.
down under.
But it's two massive boxes, and the weight, my God, I don't understand why they couldn't do it. I don't expect it to be vinyl, right? But they could have done kind of like what Prime One did, which is like it's really hollow, like you know,
Yeah.
maybe thicker resin, like but the casting may be thicker, but not like completely solid. So I'm very surprised they went down that route. But yeah,
I would rather it be solid than hollow. Hollow is more fragile when it comes to resin.
dude, but it's stupid heavy. It is so ridiculously heavy.
At least you don't have to worry about it being more likely to break. I'd rather it be heavy over it being fragile. Straight
You
up.
got to put that, Helmy, you got to put that like with your Iron Mans and that. You got to put that in that room, bro.
No space, man. I don't know.
He's got a 90 centimeter room, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's where he puts his dong too when he's not using it.
But yeah, I love my 90 centimeters or anything that comes out in that scale up. I'll use it. I'll be definitely getting the Prime One, obviously the -1. But I'm going to slow down a lot, guys. In terms of gigantics, I used to think that I want every single gigantic. Now it's kind of like this is too much. So
Hey.
I'm just going to go.
What was that Prime One you sent? I don't think you showed it earlier. There was a Prime
No.
One statue.
No, that was the -1 one.
No, it was like a black and white 2019 in the group chat.
Yeah, you sent it. I got it shared right now if you want to put it up. It's the 87 centimeter Helmy. You sent it. You sent it twice.
Dude, that was last month.
You sent it
You
twice.
sent it today.
Yeah, twice.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, 2 times. I was like, he's really
What
excited
happened?
about this one.
No. But yeah.
Okay,
So
never mind.
That was my only issue. My only piece, I guess.
Any other giant freaking Godzillas coming out? No.
Not that I know of. At that size, no. And I hope none for anytime soon because I'm broke, man. I'm broke.
I gotta
I
ship
would love to
Go ahead.
Oh,
Jeff.
sorry. I would love to get just one like really big Godzilla that's like this tall or something.
Yeah, I still have to ship my Kaiju Freaks Biollante, dude. The
Oh,
shipping
man.
quote is like 800, and it's three boxes. But like, she's gonna be so huge. I'm honestly, and like, I kind of hate that I'm saying this, but also I think it's the right thing. I don't think I'm going to like build and paint her until I buy a house because I'm not fucking moving with that thing.
Hell no.
Like completely assembled in a diorama like I want to do, dude. No way. I am not shipping that thing in a truck. There's no way.
Bring it to G Fest.
Because she's
Yeah, man.
gonna
Moving
be-
with the collection, I'm so thankful I don't have any resin stuff.
all of my stuff is
all my
resin.
stuff made it just fine. It's like, oof. But
Yeah.
if I had resin, Jesus.
Yeah, like 98% of my collection is resin. So
Yeah,
like,
that's tough, buddy.
yeah,
That's a tough
and-
one.
and she's gonna be 3 feet wide and then 45 centimeters tall.
Oh my
So-
god, that's the one that recently came out, right?
Yeah.
Can you show a picture of it? The one that's like just beautiful. Steve
Dude, it's-
Saragoli is building it.
Yes, it's the most accurate Biollante we've ever gotten. Let me,
Hang on.
Pull it up.
Hold up. It's 75 cm tall.
Which one are you looking at?
Wait, you said 75 cm tall, right?
No, 45 centimeters tall. It's
Oh, okay,
90
okay.
centimeters wide.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share. Here we go.
God damn. That's a big bitch right there.
You have a Godzilla to go along with it.
So
Yeah, bro.
what's excellent is that the Yuji Sakai 89 is going to scale perfectly because this is true 30 centimeter scale.
I guess you'll just stand Godzilla right in front of it, huh?
Oh, I'm gonna build a diorama. I'm probably gonna extend her base. I'll like
Nice.
create a partial base and then put Godzilla on there. I might even sculpt some vines to like wrap through his arms or something.
That'll be awesome, man. That'll be
yeah.
like one side of a room, probably.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to. So I'll be shipping it probably next week, and it'll arrive within 2 weeks. But like, I want to build it so bad, but I can't justify building it if I don't own this house. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to move that.
Are you like buying now or are you waiting?
Oh, buying a house, dude.
Yeah.
We're still paying off the venue for our wedding in February, so like.
Okay, I didn't know if you were
houses,
like
yeah.
about to move or something like that.
We don't even know where we want to go. I'm actually
Just
Australia.
relax for a while.
I'm trying to tell her that we should move to Colorado. Actually,
Yes.
So-
Bro,
No.
Gonzalo was telling me he wants to move to Colorado. I was like, dude, do it, and maybe you can stay with me and help me pay my mortgage off since he's never rented or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
yeah. I also have the
And then
OBS
we'll open up a
Ultima
shop.
coming in. The Omega Beast Ultima is going to be arriving soon too. I'm just
Oh,
waiting on
man,
the shipping
that's-
invoice.
yeah, that's like his best looking Omega Beast. If there's
Yeah.
one to get, it's probably that one.
It looks fantastic, yeah. And Singular Point is just top tier anime. So.
All right, hang on. All right, we're gonna get into this.
Hey.
All right, so can we finally go into post-pod discussions? Because I got to bounce soon as well. Post-pod
Damn it,
discussion.
Helmy.
We are going to talk
I was having a
about-
good time here.
dude, we've been going at it for so long. Okay,
That's
so
what she
post-pod
said.
discussions. We are going to talk about reviewing kaiju movies, right? I'm going to start first. I feel genre plays a specific. It's really important. I really think it's important to base it on the genre. Because, for example, you have country music, you have pop music, you have hip hop music. You can't expect, a pop music. If you say a pop music is good, you're gonna base it on a hip hop scale. It doesn't work, right? I feel like genre matters, and for example, horror movies. I hate the fact that whenever you see a critically acclaimed horror movie, most of the time it's fucking boring as shit. Like I am so bored watching a critically well done horror movie. But if
about
it's
Hereditary.
Hereditary is
Sorry?
fantastic.
What about the
that one's
original Omen?
amazing.
Okay. Okay, keep
I
going.
wasn't a big fan.
Just curious.
I wasn't a big fan of the original Omen. So, but I'm excited because everyone's saying that the prequel for the Omen was really good. So I'm keen to watch that one.
Yeah, I heard it's
Yeah.
disturbing as hell. They apparently did some stuff that like almost got an NC-17. So I'm like really interested to see it.
This is a
Nice,
new movie?
nice.
Coming
Yeah,
out?
it's called the first Omen.
It already came out.
Yeah,
It already came and went and flopped, but it'll be on streaming in like a week or two.
yeah, but it's
So
like
it was good?
all the reviews I've seen saying it's fantastic.
Yeah, the reviews were really good, but nobody went and saw it, unfortunately, for it.
Did you see it, Greg?
Negative. But I'll watch
I
it
wonder
this October during
I have a
Scarectober.
Fire Stick, so I could probably watch it today if I wanted to.
Yeah, for me, I wanted to watch it at home because when it comes to horror movies, more often than not, I get pissed off in the cinema. Right?
Yes,
So
100%.
I generally watch horror movies at home, and I feel bad for like this movie probably would have done well, but well, I'm gonna watch it at home. Anyways, back to my point. For example, what makes a good Western movie is very, very different from like a drama movie. So I feel like Kaiju is the same. Like for example, Pacific Rim. There are issues with that movie, right? There are definitely issues with that movie. But as a Kaiju movie, fucking love Pacific Rim, the first one. Fucking love it.
There's no
and you don't hear
issues
me.
with the first Pacific Rim.
Charlie Day.
I actually really don't like Pacific Rim. I'm just like I'm Devin's like favorite person in the world. I'm Devin's favorite person right now. No, I've only seen it like I think twice.
Me too.
I really didn't like it. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I
thought it
fucking
was-
love Pacific Rim.
thought it was
Guillermo
limp
del
toss.
Toro, dude. Oh god, I love it.
Fucking Charlie Day playing Charlie Day and fucking Ron Perlman playing a pimp. It was wonderful.
Bro, the Kaiju pimp. Come on, man.
Yeah, and the knife head scene, dude, that was one of the best battles ever, man. I fucking love the knife head scene, and I love that creature design.
I really thought they were gonna cross the universes, and that was gonna be their excuse for making a Mecha Godzilla. The Jaeger team would make a Mecha Godzilla. I thought they were gonna do that, but they didn't. I felt like that would have been pretty cool.
So bring it back,
Yeah.
Helmy. Finish your point, my man.
All right,
Because
so
I
my
want to jump
point
in on
is,
my point.
all right. So my point is, genre matters. I think it's okay to base a movie score on the genre, right? I would rate horror movies very differently from a Western movie and stuff like that. So, which is why when it comes to Kaiju, I rate it differently, and it's always going to be the case. And I'm really glad that -1 is able to transcend that. And it hit both.
Do you think any other kaiju films transcend it?
54?
I would argue a lot of them do. 54,
I would too.
62, 64, 84.
Rodan?
Nah.
Rodan? The Gamera trilogy?
Look, like just
90s
because the
camera?
general population can't appreciate these movies
Agreed.
doesn't mean that
Agreed. All right,
they
help me finish your point.
aren't
I want
as
to jump in.
valid.
Hang on. Rodan, I can see Rodan. I can see no, the Gamera trilogy, as much as I love them, and for me they're like peak kaiju cinema, there are quite a few plot holes. I'm like, really? I don't know about that. Anyway,
There's a couple.
so for me, Gamera trilogy does not transcend it. Rodan kind of does. 54 does. -1 does. And I'm honestly,
About 84? 84.
It does. 84 is like one of the best.
89 is the best. Come at me, bro.
Fucking, but no, 89, dude.
I love
No.
89. I don't give a
I
fuck.
love 89.
Christopher would get so mad at me when I would say that shit in the chat when he was still in there.
Yeah.
I'd do 89 and then the arrow and -1, and
Okay,
he'd be like, why? Why do you think it's better? Blah blah. Blah. I just like would rather watch 89. Like,
Yeah,
I love
so
everything.
I'm sorry, but that for me that's a really short list considering the number of kaiju movies out there. The ones that transcend it, or there's what 3 for me. So yeah, that's all.
So
That's
you
me.
think that kaiju movies just should not be compared like on Rotten Tomatoes, like like
On
how
the same
Rotten Tomatoes
scale,
rates
necessarily.
movies and IMDb rates movies? You think we should just do it differently?
No,
Is what
but,
you're saying?
Can I jump in?
Sorry, I was just going to say, in a sense, yes, it's like base it on whether or not how good of an action movie it is or how good a kaiju it is. So for me, that's how I would scale it. But yeah, Greg, you want to jump in? Go for it.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate you. Appreciate your opinion also. I really do. I do think genre matters. I absolutely think genre matters. And if we just quantify it like genre by genre by genre, then yeah, we can say like just within this genre, this film might be better or worse just within the genre. But I just want to look at movies on the whole. And you're right. Maybe for you, there's only 3 really iconic genre defining kaiju films. But like, let's be real. How many genre defining Western films are there? How many genre defining rom-coms are there? How many genre defining teenage films are there? Like that list is pretty small. And I would give -1 an 8. I wouldn't even call that film perfect, but I would give that film an 8. But I would hold it up against any other film that I also give an 8 relative to its genre. And so I think that when you get into the gradations of quality, that like, yeah, the better the film, there are fewer and fewer and fewer of them. Like the films I would call a 10, there's probably only like 10 films period in my entire experience with movies that I would call a 10. And I don't think any of them were kaiju films as much as I love Godzilla. I don't think I can think of a perfect 10 kaiju film. Now, if it's just kaiju films, okay, then I guess, 54 is a 10. But
Yeah, 54 minus -1, 84 would be like 10.
Yeah. Rodan, you can make that argument, but like,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
get the fuck out of here, bro. Where is it?
What in tarnation?
Rodan is certainly a better film than Twisters. Okay, I haven't even seen Twisters yet, but I think I've seen enough to know. But yeah, like, how many great fantasy films are there? Like, really great. There's like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogies,
Star Wars,
the Harry Potter, Star Wars,
Dune, technically.
Dune, sci-fi.
Dune's fantasy.
Dune is
Dune's
mid,
sci-fi.
honestly.
Dune is fantasy.
I'm gonna
Straight
be
up.
honest. Dune
We're
is
gonna argue
mid.
about this.
No, Dune is fantasy. It's like it's actually like well known historically, like in the
Yeah, I'm
literary
not
world.
saying mid as a
ended-
genre. I'm just saying it's mid in general.
It ended the golden age of science fiction, like officially, because it was Isaac Asimov, Robert Heinlein, and those guys that were writing. And then Dune was the book that basically took the scientific aspect of the golden age of science fiction and said goodbye
I'm
to
just
it.
talking about the new movies. I feel like they're mid.
It's fantasy. Dune is fantasy. Look it up. It's
Okay,
fantasy.
I agree. They are fantasy. I'm just saying they're mid.
I was talking to Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come
I
on,
mean, I'll
Devin.
look it up, but I don't know. I see it as fantasy by way of science fiction. I don't know. It's drugs.
I mean, it's the same
Bunch
as
of
Star
drugs.
Wars, Greg. I
No.
Dune just
Star
like
Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is hard fantasy. That's just space wizards.
Yeah,
And
but
it's not
what's
very
the
good
sci-fi?
fantasy either.
What's the sci-fi aspect?
From the makers of Willow, Star Wars.
What's the sci-fi
All right.
aspect?
We're straying way far. I think all films can be held on their merits. I also think we can appreciate shitty films while acknowledging their inherent shittiness. Like, I fucking love Dolomite. That movie is hilarious. And it's also representative of a very particular time in American cinema, as well as American history, as well as like a really good snapshot of Los Angeles in a moment in history. But that movie's a piece of shit. and I'd give it a 2 or a 3. But I still love it.
I love the Meg 2, and I would give that a 10.
All right, on that note, take it away, Devin.
The Meg 2, it's good, man. It's got Jason Statham. It's a 10. It's one of the few serious sequels that surpasses the original.
So would you put the Meg 2 up there with Godfather Part 2?
I would put the Meg 2 with like -1 as in terms of monster movies. I'm just kidding. Meg 2 is like equivalent to GXK. Those two movies are like the same. Honestly, dead ass. I know y'all haven't seen Meg 2. You need to watch it. Jason Statham is 20,000 feet underwater without a suit, swimming. Holding his breath. But first, he expels all the air from his lungs so he doesn't explode. That's how they explain that.
That's not even a special effect. That's just Jason Statham.
Yeah, he actually did that. He's like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He does his own stunts. I was awe-inspired, dude.
Like he totally one-upped the scene in The Abyss where they actually swam. He's like, fuck that movie. Yeah,
bro, someone's helmet cracks while they're down there, and it's like just leaking a little bit.
But Jason Statham's skull is fine.
Yeah, they're good, bro. He's good, man. He kills megalodons
with his bare hands with fisticuffs.
No, he picked up a helicopter blade.
Oh, like Brie Larson in
Kong Skull Island. Actually could pick it up. He's strong enough. Like it was on the ground and he picked it up, and the megalodon jumps over.
No spoilers.
I love how Helmy is really protective of this film too.
No, I'm not, but I'm like, God damn, I might eventually watch it. I want to see why Devin would give it a 10 out of 10. Jesus.
I will watch the Meg Part 2, The Trench, upon the Meg Part 9, The Super Trench debuting, when Devin convinces me to have a megathon with him.
I if we're being serious, I wouldn't actually give it a 10. It'd probably be more like a 9.5.
Okay, next. Let's go with Charles. I can't
tell me he's being disrespectful to the spirit of your question.
Yeah, he's trolling.
So here's my stance. I disagree with Helmy. If we have to vote, I disagree.
Okay. So I know that the Helmy's got to get out of here soon. I grade all films on 3 categories.
You said 5 earlier.
No. That was
5.
Okay, that was what I was like grading this film on, because I want to be as thorough as possible. But just generally speaking, and this will include everything. Trust me.
Grade on a 6 category: overall penetration into my soul and body and being.
Just your soul. Okay. No. So technical quality, that includes acting, writing, editing, VFX, etc. Personal enjoyment and impact. That's where like classics that I don't particularly enjoy, I'll give them a really high rating personally, due to the cultural and historical impact that they have on film as a whole. I don't believe that we should give specific genres special treatment. I think it's okay if you say this is the best in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. If you say, I would rank this as number 1 in the franchise, I totally get that if it's a specific franchise. But as far as a genre, I don't think that's fair, because there are movies that are drama that have better action scenes than action movies. There are movies that are horror that might have a better romance story than a romance movie. So it's you can't really pigeonhole movies based upon genre, because a good film
wants to know the romantic horror movie. He wants to know right now.
There are shark movies.
Yeah,
some better than others.
Shark movies. Yeah.
No, but Fly is very romantic until
the Fly does actually have a very touching story between.
The Fly is
Jeff
rated R
Goldblum.
Spider-Man, and I fucking love it.
It's a great movie, but no, I just
off so much right now.
Okay, so for example, Old Boy. Okay, the remake does not exist. I will not acknowledge that. The
The
original from
romance
2003.
between the protagonist and his
No, 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 no,
daughter
no,
is
no, 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 no. I wasn't going that direction. I wasn't going that direction. I was just going to say that the action scene in Old Boy, specifically the hallway scene, is a better action scene than in 99% of action films. That serves my point right there. And that is not an action movie. That is a drama through and through. So like you can't pigeonhole genre because a good film is going to be able to tap into multiple genres and still do good. So like I don't agree with that.
Why can't it be a genre film?
Because I don't think that's fair. Because you're giving special treatment to it
It's not
on
special
a
What
treatment.
are we
universal
gonna do
rating.
when we
It is
if we
special-
review something other than Godzilla? You know, like what are we gonna do?
I mean, like, okay,
Is Johnny Cash a country western musician?
I
Yeah,
would say yes, yeah,
Yeah, I fucking hate country, but there's like
Exactly, yeah.
Johnny
I-
Cash songs that are tight
Dude.
as fuck.
I was actually thinking about that when you brought it up earlier. I 100% think that "Hurt" is like a better song than 99% of anything in pop. So it's like
Yeah.
those are two completely different genres.
Yeah,
Hurt
and
wasn't-
his music
dude,
transcends genres, like
dude,
Charles
Hurt
is
wa-
saying.
Hurt wasn't a country song. That was what 9 Inch Nails song or something like that.
It was a country cover of a Nine Inch Nails
Yeah.
song.
It's a country artist covering it. It's genre crossing, but my point is like if you
What's
think
the-
of Johnny Cash and just define him by the genre, he's a country star. But there's a handful of Johnny Cash songs that I would put in the top tier of 8, 9, and 10 level songs.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate country.
Yeah.
I used
I'm
to
not a
hate
big-
country, but now I
I'm
really
not a
like
big-
it.
I'm
Lil
not a big
Nas
fan
X
of-
changed you in the best ways possible.
Yeah, I took my horse all down road.
Jesus Christ.
I don't, I don't like country either. But I feel like it's important to give it context. Context matters, right? So I feel like movies should be reviewed on that context. I think it's okay to have two scales. One is like how good of it as a movie, and then one of how good of a genre movie it is. I don't
How would
think
you rate Caligula?
I honestly zero recollection. I have no idea. I can't remember it anymore.
That's a trick question.
It's
That's like a
terrible
real movie
movie.
/ porno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
like
heard
okay,
that.
it's like you can't say that like The Exorcist isn't one of the greatest films of all time. Like
Exorcist
Yeah.
Part 3 is better.
Oh,
we've had this discussion before. It's a fantastic movie. I have it on 4K and I cannot fucking wait to watch it. But no, like you don't have to like mention The Exorcist and mention horror is my point. Like it's just a good movie. It's a good movie in general. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to like mention
Why-
that it's a,
why can't it be a good horror movie?
no, but that's the thing is that it's implied. It already
It
is.
is a good horror movie,
You
but
don't have
like
to,
I took a bunch just like because of the kids club and the thing that I do every year. I took a bunch of families to -1, and a bunch of
think
normies came
they're-
up to me and they were like, "Wow, that was a
Yeah.
really good movie."
There's something we're forgetting. At the end of the day, every movie we review is a movie. It's a movie first and foremost, and then that movie just happens to be a certain genre. Do we have to grade it because it's a different genre? I don't think so.
Why is it wrong to rate it based on the genre?
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like why when other ratings like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, they don't do that.
It just seems kind of disingenuous if you're going to have a completely different rating based on the genre than you would as an overall film. It just kind of like it just.
I mean,
doesn't seem-
moving forward, if we want to do that, but I'm not gonna like leave the show because of it.
just say
We could
that
do
you
it.
have like just say my personal rating is, but my overall
Well,
rating is.
my favorite genre period is science fiction. Like, and I get like back in the day, especially like when I came up in the 80s and the 90s, that was still like viewed as like nerdy shit, like super, super, super nerdy shit. But there was a handful of science fiction films that if you just showed them to general audiences, people could generally agree like, oh, that's just a good film. That's like a high quality film, whether that be on the merits of the acting or the cinematography or the music or a combination thereof. Like, I don't see the need personally of like, I think you can mention the genre and you might even say relative to the genre, this is like a very high film or a very low film. But as a movie, I think every movie stands on its own merits.
Yeah, and yeah, there's like a stigma against kaiju films. I feel like I was watching Ultraman at work,
Definitely.
and my friend came up behind me. He's like, "Bro, what fucking dog shit are you watching?" I was like, "Dude, this is really old, man. Like everything you see on set was handmade. You know, it's a lot goes into it. There's like something to be appreciated there." He's like, "Yeah, whatever. He's fucking crushing toys. Like, why the fuck are you watching?" I'm like, "Bro,
August
you."
Bergoni posted a big picture of Kamanga and the whole Wireworks team that was used to animate him on his Facebook page the other day, and like I stand by it. Like that's a 57-year-old special effect, and that shit looks badass. It looks great. And part of that is also knowing like the work and the ingenuity that went into that, and just appreciating that too. I don't hold any special effect up as like, oh, that's a reason to love the film, because in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, every effect is going to look fucking dated. So like a film has to have more than just fucking glossy and flashy special effects, or else you're just Independence Day.
Yeah, like I was watching Dragonheart, and you know the dragon don't really hold up as much, but it doesn't ruin the film for me at all.
His name is Draco.
Connery's performance as Draco holds up.
Draco, dude.
Draco.
Yeah, like he don't look bad, and there is some practical effects in there, and yeah, I mean it doesn't ruin the movie at all for me. But I don't know. I think it takes a certain type of fan, especially monster fan, to just kind of overlook it, because I feel like general audience is like, oh, CGI looks bad. Fuck that movie. I'm not watching it.
I definitely think it, and I'm not trying to be snooty or anything like this, but like I think it's how you're raised, honestly. Like I was raised watching science fiction, horror, and fantasy films from any and all decades as though they were on equal footing to each other. Like not like the new stuff was better or the old stuff was better. It was just like, this is the stuff. And you know, I've always just sought out science fiction, fantasy, and horror films. And it's unfortunate that a lot of kids these days, and I'm not trying to sound ageist, because I think this has been happening for a long time. I think a lot of people just get trapped in the purview of their own cohort, their own age cohort. They're just like stuck in that 5 to 10 year bubble of like, this is what my age group is into. And it's unfortunate, because you know, this is one of the greatest. Okay, here's a prime example. All right, I'm going to go back to what Charles was saying about genre transcending films. This is a kaiju film that I would hold up as an overall film. I give it like a 7, but it has some horror elements that are truly, truly scary and gross and nasty, which actually I think elevate the film.
Yeah. I grew up, my mom, like the shows we would watch was like the OG Star Trek, Twilight Zone. We used to watch Forbidden Planet a lot because she thought like young Leslie Nielsen was hot.
It's my favorite.
So that's why she would put it on.
Sci-fi film of all time.
Yeah, so like that was like what I grew up watching. And I don't know, it gave me a deep appreciation for like practical effects. And then also like, you know, her favorite movie of all time is Aliens. So it's like, you know, my dad's favorite movie is Predator. So we're really a Stan Winston family. Like I fucking love Stan Winston. And Jurassic Park. Like my mom brought me to the theaters when I was a year old, and watched Jurassic Park.
Oh, so she's that.
I was 10.
Yes. But no, like I don't know, man. It's just I think that it is possible to have a deeper appreciation for things if you understand the effort that goes into it. And I think that like that's where the technical quality that I mentioned like comes into the factors. Like, you know, it can alter the grade if you are able to acknowledge like just how much work went into something.
Absolutely. A lot of like tokusatsu effects that a lot of people dismiss as being quote unquote shitty, I actually look at from a different angle, and I'm like, wow, that was a lot of work on Super Aya's part to make whatever I'm looking at seem authentic, genuine, scary, awe-inspiring, or whatever. Like, I don't know. I appreciate science fiction ingenuity from the time that films have been films, you know.
Okay, so I agree with all that. I just want to say another thing that I want to point out is here's the thing, right? Genre. One of the other reasons why genre matters is because people like certain genres and not all genres, right?
Oh, that's a fact.
Some movies can transcend that, and you know anyone can enjoy it, right? But when it comes to kaiju movies, not everyone can enjoy it. In fact, I would reckon say probably 6 out of 10 people won't enjoy it.
It's a very niche genre.
Yeah. So
It's more niche than science fiction or horror or fantasy. It's a niche within that niche.
exactly. So I feel like it's okay to rate it based on that. Because if you're a fan of kaiju movies, right? You will rate it differently. You will inherently rate it differently in terms of your enjoyment of it. If I got one of my friends to watch any of the Godzilla movies, I guarantee you the person is going to give it a 2 out of 10.
I think but they probably don't have experience like really watching movies. Like
Exactly.
I think no matter what genre like you favor, I think if you're a true like film fan, you can like find the value in like any kind of like low budget movie. Or
I agree with Devin. I think if you're talking to a person, whether they're like a professional film critic or just somebody who really appreciates film or somebody who just really grew up on a wide variety of different kinds of film, if you just show those people a good ass film, it's a good movie. Like I can think of a couple movies off the top of my head where at the end of it, I was like, well, I'll probably never watch that again. And that really wasn't my cup of tea. However, I appreciate what I just saw and it was a good film.
Yeah, but again, which is why I want to highlight why I want to score it based on a kaiju movie, because as a kaiju fan, there's some movies that I would love to watch and don't want to watch. I will rate it really, really low. Like the one I always bitch about. What was that movie? Atlantic Rim. Holy fuck, that was bad. That's
barely a movie though, man. That's like direct to DVD schlock.
That's a B movie.
There is still
that's not even a B movie, dog. That's like a Z movie.
Z movie.
Well, so it's one of those like let's rip off this movie and try to trick people into renting it.
So for me,
Dragon Wars.
Dragon Wars wasn't so bad. Like, how to put this? In terms of storyline, it was shit. Right? In terms of action and all that, and kaiju action, I thought it was pretty fun. So that's why I feel like when a kaiju fan goes into a movie, I think they can still appreciate Dragon Wars, but they will still fucking hate Atlantic Rim. So I think we should scale it based on that, or as a kaiju movie. So
but
for me,
anyone would hate Atlantic Rim.
Yeah, and like, dude, Manos: The Hands of Fate exists. That's not like an indictment on the entire horror genre.
No. But what I want to say is that when we score it, it's like if we score, for example, King of the Monsters.
The sand scene from Star Wars Episode 2, that's a real thing.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
I didn't mind that. But my point being, I don't want to be stuck in a scale where
that was a $200 million fucking movie too. Like,
hang on. So King of the Monsters and Atlantic Rim should not be in the same category. There's no way in hell both should be in the same category.
I will grant you that only for the sake that like I don't like really view, which this is making streaming really hard for me, what I'm about to say, and maybe this is a point for a future conversation, but ever since I was a kid, I viewed direct to DVD, direct to VHS as like really low tier. Like that's trash. That's fucking trash. So when you talk about Atlantic Rim, I'm like, bro, you're talking about trash. Of course, you're talking about trash. And but here's where I'm going with this. With streaming now, there's like real movies made by real filmmakers with real movie stars that are not getting theatrical releases, and they're basically getting like direct to TV releases and not getting a lot of hype sometimes. And I'm just like, is that movie trash? Is that a real movie? I'm super confused because I was trained in the 90s to believe direct to VHS, direct to DVD, anything Van Damme or Seagal made post 1995 was just pure fucking trash.
But at the same time, like Atlantic Rim, if you had to say what kind of movie it was, what would you say?
Kaiju.
Schlock.
So at the end of the day, it's a kaiju movie,
Yeah.
Once you get a 2 out of 10 or a 1?
But it's also a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like
I have no problem.
Bottom of the barrel, bad movie.
Yeah, I have.
That is a real.
I don't
2 out
even
of 10.
consider those movies that are that bad though. Like I don't have a problem like grading Atlantic Rim the same way that I would Saving Private Ryan. I really don't. Of course,
yeah, me either.
Because Atlantic Rim would be a 1, and Saving Private Ryan would be a 10.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. Atlantic Rim is as a movie and as a kaiju movie, it's a 1 out of 10.
Like,
Yeah,
I
it's the
haven't
thing.
seen it. I'm just assuming based off of those kind of movies that I have seen, it's fucking terrible.
It is
So that's why
I'm-
I was just
I'm
saying, like,
Struggling to believe that it's any better than Anacondas 2.
That's a movie I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch Anaconda
I've seen-
and Lake Placid.
I've seen that movie, and trust me, that movie is leagues better than Atlantic Rim.
No, I said Anacondas 2.
Yeah, I
Is
know.
that the hunt for the blood orchid? Is
Yes.
that the name of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
I like that. I
dude,
like that one when I was a kid. I actually enjoyed it when I was a kid.
dude, it's
I
so much
haven't
better.
I haven't seen it in like 20 years, but I liked it. When
I
it
need
came
to.
out.
We should review Anaconda 1 and 2.
I just watched Anaconda 1 when I was at the hotel after the power went out.
Really, I need to watch that because I haven't seen it since I was
It's
a kid.
on.
So I need
It's
to
on
watch
Netflix.
We should watch the Chinese remake of
On Netflix.
Anaconda.
We should watch
Is
Lake
there-
Placid. Lake Placid has Stan Winston. Woo!
that. Yeah, I want to watch that too. Yeah.
But
they
yeah,
have-
which is why like I it's hard for me to reconcile in my head to give a movie like for example King of the Monsters 2 out of 10 when Atlantic Rim is 1 out of 10. You know, it's like there should be a category which says do not watch this movie. Like I don't want you to waste your life watching.
Yeah, but
Atlantic
I
Rim.
don't think I gave.
Well, then,
I
if
don't
we
think I
see a
gave
movie
King of the
like
Monsters
that-
a 2, did I?
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying that, which is why like I don't want it to be like.
I think
scale
those
where-
gradations do get serious though, because like for me, a 4, 5, and 6 is still like there's probably redeeming qualities. If you get drunk, you'll probably have a fun time watching it.
Mhm.
Whereas like a 1, 2, or 3 is like this movie's fucking terrible.
I
Like you're
think
torturing yourself to watch one of
Yeah.
those movies.
I think if we were to actually separate movies by genre and give different ratings, this example is the only example where it makes sense. If we were to only watch B movies or whatever, and we were rating B movies, then I would say like, okay, in terms of like B movies, we could do a different like genre. You see what I'm saying?
I don't
Like,
have. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but even B movie
we're
is
never
a very
gonna
misunderstood term. Like B movie doesn't mean shitty movie. B movie literally means lower budget film. In classic Hollywood from 1940 all the way up to 1980, a B movie didn't mean you were watching a bad movie. A B movie meant you were watching a smaller budget film with maybe an older star on older sets, but you were still getting a top grade production relative to the money spent. The term
Well,
B movie is so misunderstood that it fucking pisses me off.
Okay,
Like-
well then
Like
I'll admit
-1 is not a B movie. Okay, -1 was a top tier Japanese production. Shin Godzilla was a top tier Japanese production.
Well,
84 was a
could you
top
say
tier-
though? Could you say since they had such low budgets in comparison to America, they're
No.
technically B movies?
No, because a B movie is relative to the film market in which it's released in.
Okay,
A
so
B
what
movie
do
literally
you-
a B movie literally means a B budget. There's like literally like an A budget is like a
Yeah.
blockbuster film. We're spending as much money as possible to get the best sets, best costumes, best directors, best stars. A B budget film is like, hey, we're still going to spend $50 million on this film. We're just hoping it returns only $200 million. And we're maybe
Hang on.
going to get a slightly older star. But like all that was obfuscated in the 2000s when B movie just became this synonym with like shitty film. And that was
No,
never
right.
the case.
No, hold
My
up. But
question is-
for Godzilla, Toho movies, those are not B movies. In Japan, those are like
Correct.
really expensive.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
now relative to Toho films, there are B and C list Godzilla films. Megalon is a C list Godzilla film relative to other Godzilla films and relative to other Toho budgets. But -1 was an A level production in Japan. That was a huge deal in Japan. Hence the reason why it won an American Academy Award. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't disagree with any of that. I think, like you said, I just had that understanding in my head that a B movie was Atlantic Rim. So what do you call those kind of
no,
movies?
No.
Atlantic Rim is
Atlantic
not
Rim
B
is
movie.
barely a movie. Atlantic Rim is like a Z level movie.
Okay, but what do you call that genre then? Like, what is that?
Schlock. Charles said
Schlock.
it. Schlock.
Okay, so what
Schlock
I
is
meant to
like
say
shit
earlier.
that is literally made. Schlock is like shit that's made on the lowest budget possible. We're gonna print it on DVDs and sell it at Walmart for $5, and
Right.
hope fucking idiots buy it, and we might make fucking $10,000 on our return.
Okay, so that's what I was meaning earlier when I said B movie. I was
Manos,
like, okay,
The
so
Hands of Fate, Atlantic Rim, the bread and butter of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I was gonna say, if we were gonna grade movies on a different scale, if we only watch schlock, then that would make sense.
Like,
Is what I was trying to say.
I talked about Van Damme and Seagal movies earlier. Those movies in the early 90s, from like 1989 to 1995, those were B movies, total B movies, but they were released in mainstream theaters on very small budgets, and they made huge returns relative to their budgets. So like those movies were all made for about $1 to $9 million, and they would make about $50 to $100 million. So that's a B movie. They don't make that anymore. They don't make those anymore. That's the problem with movies nowadays. Every movie nowadays costs like $100 million.
So with that classification, though, that would mean that the majority of Blumhouse and A24 films are technically B movies, right?
Yes, actually. All right, let me amend my statement. Horror films are probably the last bastion of B filmmaking.
Yeah, because almost everything in A24 and Blumhouse is like under $50 million.
Yeah, if you can make a film for under $50 million and turn like a $200 million profit, you've made a B film.
Oh yeah, dude, Blumhouse. They are probably profiting like crazy.
Oh yeah.
And then you factor in the home sales too.
But here's the thing, right? That A24 is an independent label as well. So for them, $50 million would be not B movie. So I think context matters.
It is according to the market, though.
It's according to the market. It's as good as they can get. But it's like Canon films in the 80s. Canon films were like $10 million ventures, and for those, like, they were so expensive for the company that they ultimately bankrupt the company. But like relative to the market, they were still fucking cheap ass films.
I went my whole life thinking B movies meant like Atlantic Rim, shit like that.
Oh, Atlantic Rim is worse than that. I just want to say, Devin, I agree with you in terms of like, like, it's important to take into context because there's a large group of people that enjoy the schlock kind of movies, right? And they would rate it differently as well. So
yeah, I had a friend who like literally watched every single Sharknado film and was like, "Come on over, let's watch Birdemic and then Sharknado." I'm like, no and no.
Poultrygeist.
What I meant by that is like those movies are so different. Like you can immediately tell that it is one of those movies. Like compared,
I want to watch that. Sorry.
Compared to a normal movie that comes out, every week. That's why I was saying if we were like some sort of channel that only reviewed like schlock movies, I think what you're asking for would make sense, but I don't think Godzilla movies are that bad to where we need to rate them on their own.
That's what kind of killed. So that's what kind of killed Star Trek, though. Star Trek was very comfortably a mid-budget franchise in the 80s and 90s, where the films would cost less than $50 million, and the films would make about $150 million worldwide for a fairly healthy profit. And they had a niche audience, and then they retired the series because they did have a pretty big flop in the early 2000s with Star Trek Nemesis. But then when they brought it back with J.J. Abrams, they're like, let's make this shit Star Wars. And they pumped $150 million into the budget, and they tried to cast the widest net possible, and they just kind of fucked with the secret sauce. And it's never been the same ever since.
I feel like I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I feel like they don't really have characters that are like, like Chewbacca, C-3PO, and
Star Trek was never a wide market Star Wars audience.
They did have iconic characters, man.
They did. Spock,
I mean,
Data.
of course, like if you're a fan, of course, but like
it's just
not the same.
It was a very successful niche franchise for 35, 40 years, and then when they tried to make it mass market, it hasn't been the same ever since.
They also
like me, I know Kirk, I know Spock, and that's like about it. I'm like a very casual Star Trek fan. I've watched like some of the original, like I like probably half of the first season. I just feel like it just never had that factor to.
They always focused more on the science. It was more of like it was more of the golden age of science fiction is what they were trying to like convey. And it was always more about I think that's why the characters aren't as memorable, is because it was more about the actual science. And it was about a utopian society too. That's another big thing. You know,
I was just kind of saying like that's probably why the J.J. Abrams one failed, because it's just like, I don't know. I think
Dumb
it works
action.
better. It works better as like a TV series.
It definitely works better as a TV series. However, they've had like Pew and Giant